Hello, and welcome to the 51st Annual Induction Ceremony of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. My name is Marty Kingston, very pleased to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. Bonsoir et bienvenue au 51e Cérémonie d'intronisation, Temple de l'Anonyme sportive de Nouveau-Brunswick. Je m'appelle Martin Kingston. Je suis heureux d'être votre maître de cérémonie pour la soirée. We'd like to acknowledge that New Brunswick comprises part of the traditional territories of the Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, and Pescatamogotti peoples and pay our respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. It gives me great pleasure to invite you to join me in welcoming the 2021 New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame inductees. C'est avec grand plaisir que je vous invite à vous joindre à moi pour accueillir les intronisés au Temple de la renommée sportive du Nouveau-Brunswick de 2021. And they are Louis Fortin, Joyce King, Pauline Lorden, Gardner McDougall, Kathy Mahar, Team Tallon, the 2014 World Senior Men's Curling Champions, Wade Blanchard, Mike Flannery, Mike Kennedy, Chuck Kingston, and Wayne Tallon. Before we get into the celebration of these inspiring athletes and sport builders, I invite Martine Leblanc, board chair-elect, to say a little about the Sports Hall of Fame and this new venue, the Alden R. Clark Theatre. Martine.
Merci, Marty. Welcome, everybody. Bonjour. New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame is an incorporated charity that is governed by a volunteer board and primarily operated by a dedicated team of volunteers. And although the Hall of Fame was first established and operated by the government of New Brunswick, it now operates as a nonprofit organization under the explicit understanding that it preserves the New Brunswick sporting heritage on behalf of the citizens of New Brunswick. Le Temple de la renommée sportive est un organisme à but non lucratif qui est dirigé par un conseil d'administration dont sont bénévoles et aussi principalement géré par une équipe de bénévoles dévoués. En 2019, lors du 50e anniversaire de la Temple, ils ont lancé la campagne « Continue d'être une inspiration » et ont réussi à recueillir plus de 355 000 $. Cette campagne a contribué à transformer un espace non utilisé du musée en ce théâtre ultra-moderne de 50 places. In 2019, during the Hall of Fame's 50th anniversary, they launched the Building Inspiration campaign and successfully raised over $355,000 and transformed an unutilized space within the museum and turned it to a state-of-the-art 50-seat theater and presentation space. Nous savons tous que le sport a le pouvoir de rassembler des personnes de différents âges, d'origine ethnique et de statut socio-économique. Et en ayant un lieu comme celui-ci, permet en hôte de la Temple de la renommée de célébrer les histoires des athlètes les plus inspirants du Nouveau-Brunswick. We all know sport has the power to bring together and unify people of different age, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status. And by having a venue like this further allows the Hall of Fame to celebrate the stories of New Brunswick's most inspiring athletes and leverage the power of sport to enrich lives and demonstrate the positive impact that sport and the community of the people involved in sport have in shaping the lives of the youth. Thank you and congratulations to all. Félicitations à tous et bonne soirée.
Merci, Martine. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, pleasure now to call on the Honorable Tammy Scott Wallace, Minister of Tourism, Heritage and Culture, to speak on behalf of the provincial government. Mesdames et messieurs, il me fait plaisir d'inviter le ministère Scott Wallace à prendre la parole.
Thank you, Marty. 2021 inductees, honored members, friends, and family. Good evening. On behalf of the province of New Brunswick and Premier Blaine Higgs, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame's 51st Induction Gala. Bienvenue au Gala d'intronisation du Temple de la renommée sportive du Nouveau-Brunswick. The New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame plays a significant role in honoring our province's very best athletes and builders while inspiring the next generation to achieve excellence in sports. Each year, we commemorate New Brunswick's best by inducting them as honored members into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Tonight, we are welcoming you 6 new members to this shrine. These inductees have demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to excellence during their careers. Success and achievement are a testament to their dedication and perseverance. All indeed are worthy of this honor that the induction into New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame conveys. To this year's inductees, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to each of you. The pride, confidence, and inspiration that you impart in all New Brunswickers is highly valued. Félicitations. Tonight's events also provides us with an opportunity to reflect upon honored members who have passed. I particularly would like to acknowledge Mr. John Estabrooks, who passed away last month. John was an honored member, inducted as a builder for golf, and also served many years as a member of the Board of Governors and multiple terms as chairman. John's leadership and contributions helped the Hall develop into the esteemed institution it is today. The government of New Brunswick is proud to support excellence through sport. Le gouvernement de Nouveau-Brunswick est fier de promouvoir l'excellence par le sport. Sports play an important role in our health and well-being and create strong and vibrant communities. As minister responsible, I am proud and I am thankful for the contributions by all sports system partners. Your leadership and endless energy are what develops and sustains the multitude of programs and opportunities provided through sport. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Mr. Andrew McLeod, Chair of the Board of Governors, members of the Board of Governors, members who serve on the Selection Committee, and the staff of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame for their dedication and commitment to preserving and commemorating our province's sport history. Félicitations aux personnes intronisées au Temple de la Renommée sportive de Nouveau-Brunswick en 2021. Congratulations to the 2021 inductees on their remarkable contributions to our province's rich heritage and pride of place. Louis, Joyce, Pauline, Gardner, Kathy, Wade, Mike, and Chuck, well done. I invite everyone to visit the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame to help commemorate New Brunswick's honored members and to explore New Brunswick's sports heritage. Thank you. Merci.
Merci, Madame la Ministre. Thank you, Minister Scott Wallace. J'inviterai maintenant le président du Conseil des gouverneurs, Andrew McLeod, à prendre la parole au nom du Temple de la Renommée sportive. I now invite the Chair of the Board of Governors, Andrew McLeod, to speak on behalf of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this special occasion. Minister Scott Wallace, distinguished guests, mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen. As Chair of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame Board of Governors, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our 51st induction ceremony. Thank you for tuning in to this to celebrate the incredible achievements of these 8 athletes and 2 sport builders who are about to become Hall of Famers. The New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame takes great pride in being able to hold this annual induction ceremony, as well as offer programming across the province, and in part, we are able to do this as a result of the generous financial assistance from our committed supporters. The province of New Brunswick established the Sports Hall of Fame in 1970. Even though the Hall of Fame is now an independent charitable organization, the province has continued to nurture its operation by providing significant financial and in-kind support. We're also very appreciative of our event sponsors, Fredericton Sport Tourism, Molson Coors, and Rogers TV. I would also like to thank our Hall of Famers and friends who annually donate to our Join Our Team campaign. It's with the support of our funding partners and friends that we are able to deliver initiatives such as our Sports Ambassadors program that reaches over 5,000 students annually, the Sport Legacy Award that is presented during heritage fairs across the province, and our Interactive Sports Museum, which I invite each of you to visit at 503 Queen Street in Fredericton. For those of you who haven't recently seen what we have there, you will be pleasantly surprised. The New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame honors our best and inspires the rest by preserving and celebrating our sports heritage. Le Temple de la Renommée Sportive de Nouveau-Brunswick préserve et célèbre notre patrimoine sportif afin de susciter le désir de dépassement. Please join me in thanking and recognizing my fellow Board of Governors, Vice Chair Martin Leblanc of Moncton, Hugues Chiasson of Saint-Jacques, Jane Arsenault of Quispam-Cis, Clem Tremblay of Dalhousie, Michelle Boissonneau of Shippagan, Grant Sinclair of Fredericton, and John Dallaire of Moncton. Without their dedication, we would not be here tonight. Also to our talented staff, Jamie Wolverton, Executive Director, Carla Saul, our Operations Officer, our sincerest thanks for working vigorously to ensure that this ceremony is very special for those deserving athletes and sport builders. In closing, I want to thank Minister Scott Wallace for her kind words, Fredericton Sport Tourism, Molson Coors, and Rogers TV, who has helped ensure such a successful induction ceremony. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Mr. McLeod. Now let us proceed with the induction of the newest members of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Maintenant, procédons à l'intronisation de tout nouveau membre du Temple de la renommée sportive du Nouveau-Brunswick. And our first inductee of tonight's ceremony, Louis Fortin. D'abord, le skieur de fond paralympique Louis Fortin de Chipaga, Nouveau-Brunswick, a tracé la route. Puis, il a mis le feu aux poudres de Sochi, en Russie, jusqu'au Temple de la renommée sportive du Nouveau-Brunswick. À l'âge de 14 ans, il a subi une amputation du bras droit à l'épaule en raison du cancer des os. Il n'a commencé à concourir qu'à l'âge de 31 ans, s'entraînant seul dans le but de représenter le Nouveau-Brunswick aux Jeux du Canada 2011, tenus à Prince George, en Colombie-Britannique. Exemple de persévérance et de détermination, il s'est entraîné avec des athlètes qui se préparaient pour les Jeux paralympiques 2010 tenus à Vancouver. Même s'il a terminé en dernière place à chacune des 3 simulations de course, il a continué à s'entraîner. Cela a payé. Il a remporté 2 médailles d'argent aux Jeux du Canada 2011 et il a été invité à sa première Coupe du Monde en 2012. Il a attiré l'attention des entraîneurs de l'équipe Canada en terminant parmi les 10 premiers à 2 épreuves de la Coupe du Monde et il a représenté le Canada aux Jeux paralympiques 2014 en Sochi, en Russie. Louis Fortin, vous êtes officiellement intronisé au Temple de la renommée sportive du Nouveau-Brunswick. Veuillez dévoiler votre portrait et vous adresser à notre public.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Je suis vraiment reconnaissant d'être intronisé au Temple de la renommée sportive du Nouveau-Brunswick. C'est avec fierté et surtout avec humilité que j'accepte cette distinction. I am grateful to be inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame, and it is with pride and humility that I accept this distinction. Avoir été nominé et choisi pour être intronisé cette année est un honneur, d'autant plus que les valeurs fondamentales promues par le Temple sont les mêmes valeurs qui ont guidé mon parcours athlétique. J'ai toujours été poussé vers l'excellence, pas seulement pour mon succès personnel, mais aussi pour ouvrir la voie à d'autres athlètes qui aspirent au sport élite, même si nous provenons d'une petite province. Sois le meilleur de toi-même pour inspirer les autres à faire de même. To honor our best and inspire the rest, as the Hall of Fame vision is, very close to my own internal motto, which is be the best of yourself to inspire others to do the same. Mon aventure dans le ski m'a fait vivre toutes sortes d'émotions. Par exemple, se faire crier et courir après par un coach parce que j'avais oublié d'enlever mes survêtements 2 minutes juste avant une course. Ou la frustration causée par les douleurs des blessures du surentraînement. ou encore les innombrables rencontres et histoires d'amitié créées au cours du parcours. A successful sports career is filled with people and stories that have marked us, funny stories and often sad ones. Je suis spécialement reconnaissant envers les personnes extraordinaires qui m'ont soutenu et qui sont la raison de ma présence ici devant vous. C'est très difficile de faire des remerciements sans oublier quelqu'un. Je m'en excuse donc à l'avance. I'm especially grateful to the extraordinary people who have supported me and who are the reason for my presence here before you today. It's very difficult to make official thank yous without forgetting someone, so I apologize in advance. I must begin to thank my wife, Sylvette. Merci d'avoir porté le flambeau familial durant mes absences et d'avoir été mon supporteur, mon manager, mon chef cuisinier et une partenaire extraordinaire à travers notre évolution. Merci à mes 2 enfants, Mars et Damien, d'avoir vécu cette aventure avec moi, en adoptant le ski, en adoptant une vie active, en étant des supporters inconditionnels et en gardant toujours les yeux pleins d'émerveillement. Merci à mes parents, Hélène et Denis, toujours prêts à aider, toujours présents dans toutes les facettes de cette aventure. Un merci spécial à ma famille élargie pour tous les encouragements. To the cross-country ski community, thank you to the Wasawia Cross-Country Ski Club here in Fredericton and its members for their encouragement and support. Thank you to Eric Luker, Milda Markoskas, and Terry Lavoie. A special thank you to Jane Adley for teaching me how to skate ski, lending me her son's old skis, and sharing a passion. From Cross Country New Brunswick to President Dave Moore, thank you for your support and believing in me. Merci à Manon Lausier de Benoît près de Tracadie, entraîneur provincial. C'est elle qui m'a montré le chemin et ouvert la porte du monde compétitif. From Cross Country Canada, thank you to Robin McKeever for giving me a chance on his team, to Laurent Roux, wax techs and coach, and to Patty Kilter, a coach from Ontario who took me under her wing. Merci à Gilles Lefebvre, mon entraîneur durant les 2 dernières années, qui m'a apporté des expériences extraordinaires sur les glaciers en Europe. Finally, let me put in a political thank you to the government of New Brunswick through its funding of the Cross Country New Brunswick and the Athlete Subsidy Program, and also financing part of the Canadian Sports Centre Atlantic. Comme l'un de mes bons amis me faisait gentiment remarquer, tu n'es pas un peu jeune pour être mis sur une étagère dans un musée. As one of my good friends kindly pointed out to me, aren't you a bit young to be put on a shelf in a museum? Je me suis posé la question si ce n'était pas trop tôt et j'ai douté pendant un certain temps, mais je crois que le comité de sélection savait déjà qu'il était temps pour moi de passer à la prochaine étape. Now that part of the way is paved, it's now time for me to join these coaches and supporters and guide a new generation of New Brunswick athletes. D'une certaine façon, cet honneur ce soir revient aussi à ma femme, à mes enfants, à ma famille et à toutes les personnes de près ou de loin qui ont contribué à mon aventure. Je leur dédie cette reconnaissance. Finalement, je veux transmettre un message aux jeunes athlètes. Il faut foncer, ne pas avoir peur des échecs, apprendre de ces défis et surtout, il faut rêver. Finally, I have a message for young athletes. Go for it. Don't be afraid of failure. Learn from your challenges and most of all, dream. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
And now, here is our next inductee, Joyce King. Joyce King of Lower Haynesville, New Brunswick, came late to the sport of arm wrestling, starting almost by accident at age 30. 10 years later, She defeated a Russian rival super heavyweight to become the best female arm wrestler in the world. King competed with both the left and right arms over the course of her career, earning 18 national championships and 18 World Arm Wrestling Federation crowns. She was named Female Arm Wrestler of the Year at the National Championships in 1997. From 2001 to 2009, she was a national champion using either her left or right arm. For 5 straight years in the early 2000s, she used her left arm to win gold at the World Arm Wrestling Competition, first in the Open and then the Masters category. She was a 3-time winner at the Women's Arnold Classic Arm Wrestling Challenge in 2007, 2008, and 2016, and was inducted into the Canadian Arm Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2011. Over her World Arm Wrestling Federation career, she won 12 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze medals. Joyce King, you are hereby officially inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Please unveil your portrait and address our audience.
I guess the first thing I'd like to say is thank you to the artists who've done such a wonderful job on my portrait. And also to say this is a really wonderful honor, and I really never expected to be in this position. So thank you to the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame Committee who chose me to receive such an honor in this way. So now I guess I don't have to really talk about my arm wrestling because they've covered that here on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and just thank my mom and dad, first of all, for giving me such great genetics, because I've always really loved to do athletics, doesn't matter what it was. And we were always taught to do it the best we could, and if we didn't win, try a little harder. And then I'd like to also thank all my family, friends, and fellow arm wrestlers clear across Canada, because after every tournament, we have what they call an after party, but what it really is just table time, more training. Somebody teaches you how they beat you, and believe me, it really is the fundamental value, and it helps us learn every aspect of the sport. And then I'd like to thank Spencer Court and Jocelyn Clark, because they also funded our room when we traveled to Japan years ago, because really, there's no financing for most sports. So you have to kind of do your own fundraisers. And a special thank you to 2 of my trainers, Adam Petrie, who I had originally, and he was the one that trained me when I won my first Worlds in 2003 in Ottawa, and Derek Wilson for training me after I come out of retirement for a couple of years, and I went ahead and won some more titles and the Arnold Classics. And then I'd like to thank my stepson, Richie. He's the one that first got me into this little tournament here in Fredericton and introduced me to the sport of arm wrestling. My son, Cody, and his wife, Leanna, daughter, Jessica, and of course, all of my beautiful grandchildren, Josie, Haley, Jackson, Jacob, and Jenica, for also falling in love with the sport of arm wrestling and always being there to be my cheer section, and also give me the pleasure of watching them compete in the sport that I truly, truly love. And last, but definitely not least, I have to thank my husband. He has been my support in every way a person could ask for, financially, emotionally. He picked me up when I didn't win, and he was there to congratulate me. And I have so many friends and so many people out there that I truly, truly, you know who you are, I know who you are. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for all of you. Thanks.
And now, here is our next inductee, Pauline Lorden. Pauline Lorden was a leader, a winner, and a dominating women's basketball player. Introduced to the game as a child in her native Miramichi, she earned a Beaverbrook scholarship to attend the University of New Brunswick, Fredericton, and quickly made her mark. She was team captain and most valuable player on the UNB women's basketball team for 4 straight years. Female Athlete of the Year in 1989, top all-round athlete, and named to the CIS All-Canadian Women's Basketball Team in 1990, and 2 times league MVP. Additionally, Lorden was co-captain of Team New Brunswick at 2 Francophonie games, leading them to silver in 1994 and bronze in 1997. Lorden was captain or co-captain of almost every team on which she played, and those leadership skills helped her transition into coaching, and was awarded the 3M Sport Canada Coach of the Year award in 2001. She also appeared on the international stage in the role of women's basketball assistant coach with Team Canada at the FIBA's Americas Tournament in 1995 and the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. Pauline Lorden, you are hereby officially inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Please unveil your portrait and address our audience.
Thank you, Marty. Minister Scott Wallace, Mr. McLeod, and distinguished guests. I'm grateful and honored to be accepting this award from the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. And I'm humbled to be entering the hall with such a diverse and distinguished group. Congratulations to my fellow inductees and your loved ones for all your accomplishments. While growing up, sport always played an important role in our day-to-day home life. My parents encouraged us to be involved and active, to play whatever sport was in season, and to include whoever wanted to play, whether it was neighbors, siblings, boys or girls, the young or the old. Mom and Dad truly lived the values of teamwork, loyalty, and fairness. In addition, my late father was a lifelong athlete who challenged us to compete, to test our limits, and to push us to improve. In short, I was fortunate to grow up in a home and an environment where we were supported and encouraged, and there was always someone with whom I could train and play. Thank you to my parents and siblings for your constant companionship and your interest in my pursuits. Whatever success I have achieved belongs to you as well. Wherever I have played or coached, I have found the basketball community to be a generous, hardworking, and wonderful group of people. There are too many people who have selflessly contributed to my sports dreams to mention names without leaving someone out. But I am deeply grateful and enriched because of my lifelong associations with former teammates, coaches, and valuable mentors. To this group, I want to thank you for your friendship, for your time, energy, and expertise, and for sharing the journey. And I'd like to say, hasn't it been a pile of fun? Those of us that call Miramichi our hometown are given a solid sports foundation through its thriving sports tradition and its strong community leaders. The Fredericton and UNB basketball communities are truly second to none. Basketball in this province also sustains a dedicated group of officials, volunteers, sports writers, and fans. And Basketball New Brunswick and Basketball Canada continue to provide opportunities for me and others to participate and contribute to this game that I love. None of my basketball adventures would have been possible without this extensive network, who also share in this tribute today. A sincere thank you to all of you. Finally, I want to thank my nominators for their belief in me, and the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame Board, the Selection Committee, and staff for making this induction possible. A special thank you to all of you for your skillful and wise decision-making throughout the pandemic, and despite the many challenges and the changes, for making us feel so valued and celebrated along the way. Membership in this group will be a privilege that I cherish for a lifetime. Thank you again for this tremendous honor.
And now our next inductee, Gardner McDougall. At the time of his induction, University of New Brunswick Reds men's hockey coach Gardner McDougall is one of the winningest coaches in the history of university sports in Canada. The Medeck PEI native has coached 21 seasons with the UNB Reds and won 7 University Cup national championships and was on the cusp of winning an 8th national title when the COVID pandemic forced the cancellation of the 2020 championships. McDougall's teams have won 9 Atlantic University sport banners and has accumulated more than 500 career wins behind the UNB bench. McDougall has also won 2 gold medals at the World University Games, 1 as a head coach and 1 as an assistant, and he's the first UNB coach ever to earn the university's prestigious President's Medal. He's also a recipient of the Paul Harris Fellowship from Rotary Canada and the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal for community service. Gardner McDougall is hereby officially inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, Gardner was unable to attend this evening as the UNB men's hockey team has a home game against the St. Mary's Huskies. Carla Saul, New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame's operations officer, will unveil Gardner's portrait on his behalf. And now, here is our next inductee, Kathy Mahar. Kathy's being recognized for her achievements in building the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. She joined the provincial government as a sport consultant in 1970, the year the hall was created. When it became an independent organization in 1984, she was appointed the first executive director, a position she held until her retirement 22 years later. In that span, she oversaw the growth of the hall, expanding the collection of artifacts, memorabilia, and archives through donations, expanded the galleries and exhibit space within the Clark Building, and enhanced the public profile of the hall by organizing events and exhibits which encouraged New Brunswickers to visit. She guided several communities in the establishment of their own halls and walls of fame with advice on governance, nomination processes, and selection criteria. While an accomplished golfer in her own right, she has contributed her administrative talents as well as a volunteer. She has been inducted onto both the Fredericton and Miramichi Sports Walls of Fame. She was chairperson of the 1978 National Junior Golf Championship and served on the committee which ran the 2000 event. Kathy Mahar, you are hereby officially inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Please unveil your portrait and address our audience.
I need these. Thank you very much, Marty. Madam Minister, Chairman Andy, Chairman-elect, Chair-elect, I should say, Martine, fellow inductees, honored members and friends watching at home. Let me begin by expressing sincere thanks to Jamie Wolverton and Carla Saul. This is not the event we all wanted, and I know they share our disappointment. The last 20 months have been unlike anything experienced in our lifetime, but they have done everything to make this a special event for us nonetheless. To the Selection Committee and the Board of Governors, I am deeply honored and incredibly proud that you have deemed me worthy of membership. To Jim Morrell, my friend and former colleague at the Youth Department, thank you for so eloquently finishing the nomination begun by my late husband, John. Thank you, Deb Bates, for the beautiful portrait. The thought and attention to detail that you have put into it is stunning. Congratulations, Louis, Joyce, Pauline, Gardner, Wayne, the 2 Mikes, Wade, and Chuck. Each of you epitomize what the Hall of Fame represents and have left an indelible mark on New Brunswick sports history. It's a privilege to share this evening with you and to be forever linked as the class of 2021. Whether as a player, a spectator, or an administrator, sport has been an enduring presence in my life. Some of my earliest and fondest memories are of skating and playing hockey with my brother on our backyard rink and playing golf with him and our parents at the Miramichi Golf Club. We played hockey, baseball, football, golf. It was always fun and sometimes competitive. Our parents encouraged and supported us and played an active role in our sporting endeavors as volunteers. Golf became my sport, and it has been especially good to me. Having played for over 60 years, I've made many lasting friendships, traveled and competed from one end of this country to the other, enjoyed some success, and learned several valuable life lessons along the way. It has also provided opportunities for me to give back at the club and provincial levels. Two of my early mentors and dear friends, Mary Ellen Driscoll and the late Grace Donald, are honored members of this hall, and I am grateful for their guidance and their friendship. In 1973, Rolly McClenahan, Director of Sport in the Youth Department, assigned me to work with the newly established New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame's Board of Governors and Selection Committee, and later entrusted me with its day-to-day operation. It was the perfect fit, combining my love of sport and history with the vision of the Hall's founders to recognize and celebrate New Brunswick's outstanding sportsmen and women. No question, I had the best job in the world. I also had skilled and dedicated individuals working with me. Deborah Williams, Bob Guthrie, and Fred Cornford all played key roles in the growth of the Hall. Deborah, the administrator, kept everything running smoothly, and Bob and Fred's creativity and resourcefulness in designing and presenting exhibits at the Hall and on the road were second to none. I also had the pleasure and good fortune to work with the talented and committed men and women who volunteered as members of the Board of Governors and its committees. Their leadership, expertise, and belief in the Hall's mission made it possible to undertake transformative projects, including the establishing and expanding the galleries here in the Clark Building, presenting traveling exhibitions, and moving the Induction event around the province. I am so proud this evening to be joining my late husband, John, as an honored member of our Provincial Sports Hall of Fame. It was at his insistence in 1984 that I accepted the board's offer to become the Hall's executive director, and his advice, support, and participation in many of the initiatives we embarked upon over the years contributed significantly to the Hall's success. Thank you to my friends and my family, my brother Mike and his wife Deborah, son Michael and wife Jackie, daughter Catherine, daughter-in-law Claudette, and my grandchildren Stephanie and Bobby for your love and support. And thank you all.
And now our final inductees, Team Tallon, 2014 World Senior Men's Curling Champions, Wade Blanchard, Mike Flannery, Mike Kennedy, Chuck Kingston, and Wayne Tallon. You can't do better than that. Skip Wayne Tallon and his Fredericton Capital Winter Club rink have made Mike Kennedy, second Mike Flannery, lead Wade Blanchard, and alternate Chuck Kingston achieved that lofty status, winning the 2014 World Senior Men's Curling Championship in Dumfries, Scotland. All five men had achieved a degree of individual success over their curling careers, but they reached the summit as a team. They won a pair of New Brunswick Senior Men's Championships, going through the Provincial Championship Bonspiel with a 6-0 record in 2013 to represent the province at the National Championships that year. At the Canadian Championship event in Summerside, PEI, they compiled a 10-1 record and won the gold medal in impressive fashion, defeating Team Ontario 11-3. That earned them the right to represent Canada at the 2014 Bonspiel in Scotland. They swept to the title, finishing with an 11-0 record and cruising to a 7-2 win over Team Sweden to finish on top of the world. The 2014 World Senior Men's Curling Champions, consisting of Wade Blanchard, Mike Flannery, Mike Kennedy, Chuck Kingston, and Wayne Tallon, you are hereby officially inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. As the team's representative, I'll ask Wayne Tallon to please unveil your team's portrait and address our audience.
Thank you. Madam Minister, Chairman Andy, Chairman-elect Upton, and fellow inductees, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly is a pleasure to be here tonight to receive this honor. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. So let me begin by saying how honored we are to be forever linked to these 5 well-deserving individuals who, after achieving the pinnacle in their sport, have all made the choice to take their talents and share it with the next generation, giving back, growing, and transcending the sport they love. I speak for all my teammates when I say it truly is an honor to be inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame with you as the class of 2021. We want to thank the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame Selection Committee for this distinction. It is humbling to be welcomed into the ranks of this institution. So much talent and New Brunswick history grace these walls, people we have admired, watched, and learned from. When we walk out of here today, we understand the gravity and responsibility this induction bestows upon us. This team always received endless support from the Capital Winter Club board and membership. We heard every good luck, cherished every card, note, and email, felt the support and cheering from home when we traveled, and we are forever thankful for the time and dedication to nominating us for this honor. Our national coach, Bill Shearhart, thank you for your dedication and support. You told us that your job was to remind us of what we already knew. You did more than that. You reminded us to trust what we knew and keep our eye on our goals. Most importantly, to our families, you are truly what made this team's run possible. Your love and support through the years helping us to get to a point where we could build this team. You were the mortar that held the bricks together. Without you, this would not have been possible. Your support allowed us to reach for the stars and come home world champions. To Charles Kingston, thank you very much for your dedication and support and for agreeing to come with us as our alternate at the World Championships. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now for my little story that will be all about egos. In the good sense of the word, because there is such a thing as having a bad ego, and that comes with being obnoxious and disrespectful, compared to someone who is slightly cocky, but very respectful. And Coach McDougall would know exactly what I mean. When you're dealing with high-performance athletes, that's what you're dealing with. Our World Championship team certainly didn't start its journey as a team that played at the highest of levels. So let me back up for a second and tell you how the team came to be. Wade was the architect with a little help from Mike Kennedy. They met up in Edmundston to talk about who they would like to play with. According to Mike, he told me that Mike Flannery and myself were mentioned several times during their conversations, and hence we were the 2 guys they would ask to play with. The lineup would be Wade at lead, Flan at second, myself at third, and Mike at skip. Then they contacted us, Mike and I, and we both agreed that it would be a great opportunity to join this wonderful team. Shortly after that, Mike Kennedy approached me and asked me if I would call the game. He would continue throwing the last rocks. Again, I agreed, but thought, was he insinuating that I was not a far superior sweeper than he was? Or maybe a better ice reader and strategist? On paper, this was a good team, but the big question was, could 4 skips get along on the ice and play their respectful positions without negatively impacting the team and a chance at winning a championship? We all agreed we would try our best to play the position we were assigned and give it our best effort. So to the gist of my speech, I've never shared this story with anyone. I was waiting for the right moment to do so, and that time is now. In order to play in the New Brunswick Senior Provincials, we had to compete in a preliminary qualifier, a triple knockout competition where there were 11 teams for 6 spots to proceed to the provincials. We started with a hard-fought win where Mike Kennedy had to save our bacon on several occasions. The reason he did was because I wasn't playing very well. We then lost our second and third games, and again, because of my poor play. I was struggling with draw weight, which is a shot that is critical for a player to excel at the third position. I continuously put our team behind the 8 ball, end after end. So after our second loss, we had only 1 life left and needed to win 3 straight games to qualify for provincials. So after the second loss, the boys got together. They had a meeting without me to discuss what should be done to get the team back on the winning track and get through the preliminaries. Their decision wasn't something they wanted to do, but knew it had to be done. They came to me and asked me if I was willing to trade places with Flan and throw second stones, but continue to call the game. At least I was doing something right. I must say my ego took a hit it hadn't experienced in a long time, but deep down inside, I knew it was the best thing to do in order to get us winning again. It was difficult to take, but I did agree to make the change. Needless to say, we won our next 3 games and qualified for provincials. After the preliminaries, the team got together to debrief on what had happened that weekend, and we decided we would go back to the original lineup and focus on getting to nationals. I can tell you I was pleasantly surprised, but grateful that they still had confidence in me that I would return to the good play I was known for. I worked my you-know-what for the next couple of weeks, practicing every day in order to get back to playing at the level I knew I was capable of. I just couldn't let my team down one more time. The rest is history. We went 6-0 at provincials, 11-1 at nationals, and 11-0 at the World Championships. And here we are today, being inducted into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Guys, I want to thank you for taking me on this wonderful journey, and thank you for having the fortitude to showing me that once in a while, you need to check your ego at the door and do what you got to do in order to become a champion. Because of the support my teammates gave me, I realized I wanted to do something for others and set my sights on coaching and creating a strong youth development program at the Capital Winter Club. But I did not realize that this experience would give more to me than I would ever give to it. Helping a team achieve their goals is a priceless feeling. It has filled me with pride for their accomplishments. The experience of having a 5-year-old running up to me at a store in the middle of June to say hello and tell me how much they miss curling is also an unbelievable feeling. Someone can change the path of your life by supporting you, and those ripples can travel a long way. This induction class embodies that. As honored as we are to receive this induction, the fact that the youth development program at the Capital Winter Club felt that we were deserving of this makes this honor extra special. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Wayne. Please join me in giving a round of applause for the 2021 Hall of Famers. Everyone. For over 50 years, the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame has played a lead role in preserving and promoting New Brunswick sports heritage. In addition to the annual induction of our most inspiring athletes and sports builders, it operates the only sports museum in New Brunswick, where visitors are treated to a fun family experience, where they can learn in the Biomechanics and Sports Discovery Center, give it their best shot in the interactive area, walk through sports history in the permanent exhibit areas, and honor a legend in the Hall of Famers Shrine area. Depuis plus de 50 ans, la Temple de la renommée sportive de Nouveau-Brunswick est la principale autorité responsable de la préservation et de la promotion du patrimoine sportif dans la province. En plus de l'intronisation annuelle de nos athlètes et bâtisseurs de sport les plus inspirants, il exploite le seul musée du sport de Nouveau-Brunswick où les visiteurs ont droit à une expérience familiale amusante où ils peuvent apprendre dans la centre découverte de la biomécanique et du sport, tenter le coup dans la zone interactive, se déplacer dans l'histoire du sport dans la zone exposition permanente et honorer une légende dans la zone du sanctuaire des membres de la Temple de la renommée. In closing, I invite all of you to visit the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame at 503 Queen Street in Fredericton to see its interactive exhibits and the Hall of Famers Shrine featuring these 2021 inductees. On behalf of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame board, staff, and our 2021 inductees, thank you for tuning in and celebrating this